This training video will highlight key areas for completing a commercial valuation overview. For comprehensive detail, please refer to the Commercial Valuation Overview Operational Guide and Commercial Valuation Overview Glossary of Terms documents. The Commercial Valuation Overview is a ValEx platform-generated document which displays a snapshot of and highlights risks within the valuation report. It is only applicable for commercial valuations and may be mandatory, optional, or not required, depending on the individual funder's requirements. It is important to note a full commercial valuation report, including the executive summary contained within the report, will be required to be completed and uploaded separate to the commercial valuation overview. The commercial valuation overview will not form a complete view for lending purposes. It is designed to be a synopsis only. It is expected that lending personnel will continue to read the commercial valuation report in its entirety. Within the Documents tab, on the job, you will be required to upload at least one photo and nominate it to appear on the CVO. Select Browse and then the appropriate photo. Select the document type as Photo and the photograph type as Appear on CVO. Now select to upload files down the bottom of the page. This will now appear in the front page of the CVO document produced for the client. Once you are ready to commence inputting your information, select the Report tab and then the Upload Existing Report button. This will then take you through to the fields required to complete a commercial valuation overview. The assessment type will be selected at the discretion of the valuer and should be chosen to reflect the valuation method that has been adopted. Typically, a property valued using the capitalisation of income approach would require a standard CVO. The assessment type determines the fields required to be completed for the commercial valuation overview and the risk assessments that will need to be completed. The valuation assessment types are Standard, Strata, Residential Development, Vacant Land, Going Concern, Specialised. Where the commercial valuation overview is not mandatory and you choose not to submit one, you will be able to select to upload the report only. In this training video, we will walk through the standard CVO as this will be the most commonly used assessment type. Simply select the relevant CVO type and save. Most information within the General tab will be read-only, other than the Valuer File Reference and Purpose of Report fields. The Valuer File Reference allows you to enter a valuation firm reference for the job. This may be left blank. The Purpose of Report field will pre-populate with either first mortgage security purposes only or mortgagee in possession. This may be overtyped if required. The Value tab will require different input, dependent on which assessment type has been selected. The standard CVO contains the most detail. Select the interest valued and enter the apportionment of value between land and improvements when relevant. Given a financial institution may instruct to report on multiple values, the CVO has the ability to enter a market value and then select the type and enter a description if relevant. The Basis for Assessment field has been created to enable you to enter multiple values as required. Up to 10 values may be added. A tick box is available within the standard assessment. This property is owner-occupied. When this box has been ticked, you are confirming that the property has been assessed on a vacant possession basis. Ticking or unticking this will determine which fields are required to be entered in the valuation summary table below. The valuation summary table contains fields that are relevant for property types that can be valued using standard valuation approaches, including direct comparison, capitalisation of income, or summation. Each field within the valuation summary may be entered as a single value or range. Each field may also be entered as a negative value when relevant. Please note, the figure entered in the market yield percentage field will automatically transfer to the market yield comparison field on the Summary tab. The Summary tab will also require different input, dependent on which assessment type has been selected. Again, the standard CVO contains the most detail. the property address will automatically populate. The property type may be adjusted as required via the drop-down box list available. Enter the site area and total building area and select whether it is meters squared or hectares. Enter the number of car spaces, last sale date, and last sale amount if applicable. If the subject property is under contract, select Yes. This will allow you to enter a contract of sale date and contract of sale amount. Enter builder contractor, tender date, tender price if relevant and known. In the description of the property, a minimum of 5 words is required. If the subject property is leased, select the Is this property leased tick box. A lease summary table will then display, requiring you to enter the relevant details. Up to 30 individual lease details may be entered. The comparison to sales evidence section is most comprehensive within the standard CVO. The subject property details will pre-populate for you, as will the market yield percentage for the subject property. This is the figure you will have entered in the market yield percentage field within the valuation summary table on the Value tab. You will need to enter a minimum of 3 comparison addresses within the market yield comparison section and their respective market yield percentage. Once the market yield comparison address has been entered, select the copy address from the above market yield comparison button. This will then populate the same address within the market value comparison section. Once the address has been populated, enter the relevant dollar value meters squared. The Upload Report tab will be the same no matter which assessment type is selected. Select Browse and then the relevant commercial valuation report. Once the appropriate documentation is selected, choose the Upload File button. A maximum of 5 risk assessments will be applicable to each assessment type. These may be considered common risks that may be applicable to the specific assessment type. It is expected when a risk is identified in the valuation report, at least one risk assessment will be triggered within the. Where the risk is not applicable, select No and then the Next button. Where the risk is applicable, select Yes and then identify which reasons are relevant by selecting the appropriate tick boxes, noting that more than one reason may be selected. Complete each risk assessment. Once the Next button no longer appears, you have reached the end of the risk assessments. You can move to the previous risk assessment by selecting the previous button. Complete the last button and select the Confirm tab. Selecting the Confirm tab will show all critical errors. These show fields which are required to be entered or completed, or have been completed incorrectly. Go back through each critical error and complete or adjust the information. Before proceeding, we recommend you preview the CVO to ensure that it reflects the same information provided in your full commercial valuation report. Thank you for taking the time to watch this training video. If you have further inquiries, please contact your valuation manager in the first instance.